Old Mercs are beautifully built. At the end of the 80s, even the Mercedes-Benz chairman said they were over-engineered. Their reputation for reliability exceeds that of modern-day models, and the company has only recently admitted it's trying to get quality control back to the standards of the good old days. But how tough is an old Merc? Well, we bought one to find out. This E-Class estate is 16 years old and it cost us £695, and it came with tax and an MOT. Even though it's had 9 owners and driven around the world nearly 7 times, it's still as fresh as a daisy. The seats aren't sagging, the doors still thunk, and all the electrics work. Even the windows still go up and down silently. 695 quid for this car. It's got more seats than most MPVs. This is looking like a very good deal. A clean bill of health was confirmed by Paul, our professional mechanic.
Yeah, spot on, yeah.
So, how much torture could the old girl take? We began by checking if any rust had weakened the bodywork. With a baseball bat. I'm so sorry. Oh no! I just feel dreadful. Oh no, I can't do it. I can't do any more. Don't make me do any more. Oh, that really goes against the grain. I'm so sorry. All the panels were rock solid, and so far only the indicator had flinched. It was time to test the moving bits. This is where car manufacturers from all over the world come to test the durability of a new car and discover its weak points before they put it on sale. 1 mile on this, the Belgian Pavé, is like driving about 1,000 miles on an average road. It's where cars are driven to destruction and isn't intended for old-timers like our Merc. Oh, I feel awful. The cobbles accelerate the aging process, adding lifelike wear and tear to the car. It's basically a bumpy time machine. Cars are generally driven here for 24 hours a day over a 2-week period. Pity the test drivers. Okay, the windscreen wiper has decided to intermittently work, and I've not even touched a button. Oh, tarmac. Oh, smooth, quiet tarmac. Steering still works. Everything seems fine. A bit more, I reckon. Oh, don't you just love Belgian Pavé? Oh. I've just lost my front wheel arch trim. Oh, bless her. Right. Bear with me. I found it! Oh. I'll frame that. More abuse. We spent a whole afternoon being mean to our Merc, driving continuously on surfaces like the long wave pitch, designed to overstress the suspension. Yep. Corrugated lanes that create a certain resonance that irritate delicate ECUs. I'm so sorry. And we threw in a few potholes and big curbs for good measure. Oh. But lap after lap, despite its age and colossal mileage, the car remained unscathed. I'm so amazed. Paul's checks confirmed it. In one afternoon, we'd added the equivalent of thousands of miles, but she was still running like a dream. Good old girl. But we've not finished yet, oh no. Join us later when we take our 695 quid Merc for a dip. And we have our biggest ever crash test. testing the legendary build quality of old Mercs by taking this 1990 E-Class estate and subjecting it to the kinds of durability tests modern cars go through. And this 170,000 miler is just lapping it up.
All seems to be fine.
Time to get tougher. This 3-foot deep pool is usually used for cooling the dampers of 4x4s after some hardcore Belgian pavé action. For us, it will be a torture chamber, because there's nothing worse for an engine than water. Now, just in case I need an emergency exit, I'm going to open the sunroof. Squeaky, but it works. Oh, the bonnet, I can't even see the bonnet. No, she's died, died. Nothing, engine has died. Okay, let's try and start it up again. No, absolutely nothing. Oh my gosh, it feels like I'm going to sink. Can't do anything. Let's try the electrics. Oh, the hazards still work. Headlights. Brilliant. Headlights work. The door sills are holding up really well. There's just water dribbling in. I say dribbling, it's sort of gushing in now. Try and start her up. Don't know why I'm bothering with that. Oh my gosh, all the windows have suddenly dropped down. The passenger window and the rear window just opened on their own. That should be my sign to get out. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, bye car. Oh my God, I'm going to get trapped in the sunroof. Oh. I'm getting out of the bloody car, I'm not joking.
Okay. Got a hand?
Yes. Oh my God. It's really not easy jumping from wellies. Bye, car. With the car now starting to slowly sink, we sent Paul the mechanic in to rescue her. But with water drenching every electrical connection, hopes of a resuscitation were slim.
Yeah, straighten the steering so I can pull it out of the water, please.
Cool, and how do I get in there?
Through the boot.
Lovely.
All right.
Okay. What had we done to my beloved old Merc?
She may be dead.
Oh no, she can't be dead. She's my little honey.
Yeah. Now I have.
Oh, it sounds so damp in there.
I don't think this is ever going to run again. There's no ignition lights. There's nothing happening whatsoever. I think the water's definitely killed it.
But then, hope. Water has got into the cylinders, and because water doesn't compress, when the pistons squeeze down, the conrods usually bend, fatally locking the engine. But with each cough, there was a glimmer of hope. With the spark plugs out, it might just be able to pump itself clear. The more I drove her, the better she got. And as the electrics dried out, you'd be hard-pushed to tell how close she'd come to drowning. So, just how much punishment could this old Merc take? Could it survive a collision with this? Join us later to find out. Admit it, our £695 Merc is impressing you. After all we've thrown at it, it's still going.
The Merc, she lives! Good girl!
But that could all come to an end when we subject it to our biggest ever crash test. Our old Merc is going to be driven over by this. Meet Monstrous. It weighs 4 tons, and half of that weight is wheels. The Merc's structural rigidity is going to be tested to the limit. Monstrous has an 8.2-litre supercharged engine and 1,250 horsepower. It runs on alcohol and does 58 yards to the gallon, which equals 30 gallons to the mile. We'd better get going then. Our lovely old Merc was dwarfed by this £140,000 truck. We looked on, knowing we'd sent her to her death. Incredibly, the Merc wasn't flattened. It stood its ground, acting like a ramp. The front wheels didn't touch her, only the back wheels did any damage. The Merc's structure was clearly a lot stiffer than we'd predicted. The passenger side repelled the brunt of the attack, and inside was remarkably normal. But something had obviously been fatally severed as the car's vital fluids were seeping away onto the floor. Mechanic Paul went in to assess the corpse. We thought it was at least worth trying the key, just for old time's sake. She started, but surely she wouldn't move as well. Axles that are intact anyway. A full set of functioning electrics took our mind off the slight blemishes on the bodywork, and we were keen to hear the results of the thorough AA inspection.
It's a good car, that. It's alright.
So, how well built are old Mercs? Very. But join us later in the series when the torture will continue. Sorry, old girl. And now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the greatest comeback since Elvis in '68. It's the return of the Merc. Talk to those in the know and they'll tell you nothing is built as well as an old Merc. Some weeks ago, we tested this theory with a 16-year-old E-Class we found for 695 quid. We dished out a lot of abuse. Some of it scientific, most of it not, and literally sent the car through hell and high water. Somehow, she was still going.
The Merc, she lives! Good girl!
And even after being monster-trucked, she kept on running. Paul, our expert mechanic, confirmed that this was no fluke. Paul, how many call-outs have you been to in the last year?
About 2,000.
And out of those, how many were old Mercs, say pre-1993?
One.
And what was the matter with that?
It was an immobiliser fault.
So nothing mechanical?
Nothing mechanical whatsoever.
So we've established beyond doubt that old Mercs are tough. But we still haven't found the limit, which is what we intend to do today, using an arsenal. First up, a test of interior durability. The inside was wearing its 170,000 miles well, with every switch clicking like the day it was born. Now, obviously, there's only one way to see how tough the fixtures and fittings are. Grenade! Most of the interior had been vaporized, but throughout the car there were little signs of life. See, the electrics still work, Paul.
Yeah, that light's on as well in the back, look.
Is there? And what about the heater switches?
Gone.
Gone where?
Good question, and I'm not quite sure.
Hold on, old boy. We decided to up the ante. I'm sure you, like us, have often wondered if Merc bodywork could withstand an attack from the cannon off a Spanish galleon. Well, leave it to an expert. Strike one. Miss left. Oops. Strike two. Too long. Strike three. Direct hit. Were you impressed with my accuracy eventually?
Yes, very good. Third time lucky.
Thanks very much. So is the front. Oh, look at that. Now that's what I call proper build quality. Opens and shuts. Fantastic. And the door mirror is still intact. That is a pretty mint door, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get some money for that. Again, the bits of the Merc that were still standing had seemingly shrugged off our attack. So, for the final test, we decided there should be no holds barred. We wanted to see whether there was any grain of truth in one of the biggest cliches about old Mercs. Are the engines bomb-proof? As our E-Class burned, we felt sure this time we'd killed her off. The car was gutted, and Paul stepped up to inspect the remains.
That shuts.
Of course, the point of this test was to see how much stick the engine could take.
Looks a little bit melted.
It couldn't possibly start, could it?
Keys still in, yeah.
We held our breath, but nothing.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
It was a car barely alive. But Paul felt he could rebuild it. He had the technology. He could make it better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. Well, actually, all he could do was get that rear wiper working, making it look like something from the end of Terminator. And then, film fans, just like Lord of the Rings, there was yet another ending. On closer inspection, it turned out the engine was okay. But it was the wiring loom of the immobiliser that had melted and was preventing us from starting it. So, are Merc engines bomb-proof? Yes! But their immobilisers aren't.